Hi, this is Esther and Brajesh, and we have a video on how the repressing of emotions start. Often this happens already in childhood when there's a situation, for instance, the parents that are busy with having a fight maybe between them, and the child wants to get some attention and it's being neglected by the parents. No, not now, not now, later, it's not the right timing. So the child is feeling like, ooh, I did something that was wrong. I did something that I wasn't supposed to do. So he feels angry, in fact, because the parents are not listening to him. But as he gets this message from the parents, that's where he says, okay, there must be something that I haven't done right, so I'll suppress being like this, reacting like this. And that's how repressing of emotions can start. Just one example. Do you have anything to add on that, Brajesh?
Okay. Yeah. So I was thinking that as a child usually starts crying or screaming and does all kinds of behaviors, and parents feel uncomfortable and they try to calm the child down. They try to say shh, or maybe in a public place, they're embarrassed. So as a child, a lot of our inputs are coming that we should just stay calm and not show the emotions so that the parents can maybe feel like they have a wonderful baby or a well-behaved baby. So it's almost like a fight versus the baby trying to express itself, and then the parents telling the baby, calm down, relax, stay normal, and we may start building our repressing right there in childhood.
Right. And also, an example when a child is having a little accident, falling off his bike or falling just in the street, and that the parent says, it's okay, it's not that bad. But in fact, the child is being sad, the child is being frustrated because he fell, the child is angry. And then the parent says, it's not that bad. It's like as if he's not allowed to feel what he's really feeling, that he should continue without giving this attention, like what is going on internally. And that's how a habit of repressing emotions might start. Do you have another example, Brajesh?
Well, I was just thinking of seeing also our parents, let's say, having a fight. I don't know, I'm sure you've experienced it. I mean, our viewers have experienced our parents fighting, and I remember that would make me feel very uncomfortable. And so in my mind, maybe I was making up that I don't want to be like that. So when they were arguing and perhaps expressing anger at each other, I made the unconscious decision that, oh, I'm going to be calm and I'm going to uh, not be that kind of person. So that's another way that we start learning to repress, is by seeing behaviors that make us feel uncomfortable and then deciding that we're not going to behave that way.
Right. And even the child might have the wrong idea, that he is the trigger of the fight between his parents, and that he feels guilty about having their parents having a fight. When the child is young, it can't put things into perspective yet. So he feels things at the first degree. And what also can happen is that one of the parents who is really like expressing anger or rage, and that the child has a disgust against it, and that he starts repressing anger and rage himself, because he doesn't like his father or mother to see like that, so he doesn't want to be like that. So that's also where repressing takes place. Now we are talking about repressing emotions, Brajesh. What's the downside of repressing emotions? To what does it lead?
Yeah, exactly. It seems like the more we talk about it, the more I realize that's the first language we learn, is the language of emotions. And we're not necessarily with the experts teaching us how to use our emotions. So as we grow up, we just remember everything that happened to us and act accordingly. And so what happens is, like the question that you asked, is we start to suppress or repress our emotions because we think that they're inappropriate. And they are inappropriate to express. So I agree that you shouldn't rage at somebody, or you shouldn't physically do something to somebody. But what we are not being taught in our childhood is that it's okay to feel those emotions. So there may be a rare few of us that had good parents that said it's okay to feel this way, and you're going to be all right. But most of our parents would probably tell us, be quiet, go to your room, behave this way. That's inappropriate. I don't want to see you do this. Or we would have seen things happening and decided for ourselves, this is how we're going to manage our emotions. So I think it's the most fundamental language that we learn as children. And most of us don't have a good guide or mentor or expert. Our parents themselves are just, learning to be parents for the first time themselves. So they're kind of winging it, and we get to be the result of that. And so, yeah, what the result is, we start repressing. In other words, not even being aware that those emotions are there.
Right. And I mean, our parents, if I take us as examples, our parents talking about emotions was some kind of a taboo. People weren't talking about it. It's like they went through the war, many of them. It's like, just continue life. But life is happening in front of us every day, and every day there is stress around our lives. And some people have more stress than others. And when everything comes together and there's just an overload of stress, that's where the autonomic nervous system is bugging because it can't manage it anymore. And that's where the repressing of all the emotions that were under the hood are now trying to get out, but that it doesn't fit into the self-image because we haven't learned how to do that. We have been repressing, and so the brain is inducing physical pain to divert the attention from the negative emotions that are there, risking to get out. And that's where the back pain, the knee pain, the shoulder pain, the neck pain, wrist pain, all kinds of pains come up as a diversion, because then we are still not going through the emotions. But emotions are human. We are human. They are there every day. And your emotions are your emotions. You can react with your emotions, it doesn't matter which one, on every situation that is coming up in your life. You don't, that's what Jess is saying, you don't need to express it, but you need to be aware of how you feel in that specific situation. Right, Jess?
Exactly. Yeah. And it's a very simple distinction. Allow yourself to feel it versus allow yourself to express it. And there's a big push these days for us to express, and I think that's not important. It's allow yourself to feel it. And I was recently talking to a client. She's from England, and she said, "Yeah, I remember as a child, keep calm and carry on is one of the sayings from the royal family." And it sounds wonderful, and it actually is appropriate. I think that's a very nice way to behave. Keep calm and carry on, but doesn't mean that you're calm on the inside. So
Right.
you can be calm on the outside, but on the inside, allow yourself to feel everything that's going on. Those feelings are the ones that will motivate you, that will drive you, that will help you to accomplish what you're doing. You may be feeling scared in that moment or angry. And yes, feel those feelings and carry on. I don't know a better way to say that saying, but keep calm, feel everything, and carry on. If I had to, I had to change it.
I remember an Australian, I can relate to an Australian client who says, she had been taught to be a good girl. So everything that didn't fit in this image, be a good girl, was wrong, and she was not allowed to feel it. And that's how repression took place for her. Yeah. So this is just one of the examples where people are repressing emotions. So the message of today is, make sure you are aware of every emotion in every single moment for yourself in order to prevent to get back pain and other kinds of chronic pain. In other videos, we will share other interesting facts and inspiration about how back pain is arising and what you can do about it to get rid of it.
Yeah. And to leave you with a question that you may have, that, how do I find the emotions that I'm not aware of? That there must be at least 100 things in each day that are generating emotions for everyone in our lives. Unless you're living in a cave, there are going to be at least 100 things. Yeah, start looking in your life at what's happening to you. And I challenge you to find at least 20 things today in your life that are going to generate emotions for you.
Good. See you next time.
See you next time. Bye.